How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the week. Maybe you had maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was the market conditions while you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. What is green and not heavy? Light green. Not too bad. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN. It ended up seeing a pullback inside of the market. We are starting to test key levels, and I want to make sure you're prepared if you're deciding whether to trade into this plan or you're thinking about making an investment. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $5.30, being down 0.93%. On the low, it tested $5.14, and then on the high, testing $5.45. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 10.411 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 14.309 million shares. So what this tells us right away, we did have below average volume on the day, and with the choppy markets we had, that's why we've seen a pullback in OCGN stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 34.33. And when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day, the 200-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And like I was pointing out in previous videos, OCGN is in a bear market. So as far as support that we tested on the day, it was right at $5.14. So this becomes a very interesting area going into tomorrow, because what we want to see from OCGN is holding up the $5 level. If it ends up breaking through fives, then we could easily quickly get into the mid fours. And that's one thing we have to take into consideration here. Now, as far as for a bullish case scenario, so a reversal, we ended up seeing a high of $5.45 on the day. So technically, you'd want to see a move for us to actually get back to this $6 level. We also do know this is going to be a psychological area. And before we can even start testing this particular range, we'd have to get past this resistance here at $5.70. And what could do this? More volume coming into the play or a potential catalyst being announced. There's a lot of selling pressure in this play. There's a lot of short interest. So this is why you're going to need this kind of price action to get OCGN back into the sixes. If we continue to have more selling pressure and we're having lower volume and there's volatility inside of the markets that are hitting small and medium cap stocks, and this is why I say it's very important for OCGN to hold up at least $5, which I'm going to assume there should be some strong buying pressure in that particular area. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for OCGN. So for the dark pool short volume ratio, it is at 55.79%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 2.83 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 700,000, updated 20 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.94%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 9th, it was at 62.07, and then for the close of the 10th, it was at 55.79. So it'll be very interesting to see what the numbers will be later on in the evening, but one thing is for sure, I believe it's going to be in that 50% range for the short volume ratio. So what this tells us, OCGN does continue to have short squeeze potential. So now let's let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we could see here on the inflow, it was at 9,999. Then on the outflow, it was 9,012. When we take a look at the breakdown even further, on the large, we had 2,784. On the medium, we had 5,079. And then on the small, we had 2,136. When we take a look at what happened on the outflow side on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 6,152. And then on the small, it was 2,860. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see we had 2 inflow days on the 10th, which was last week. And then for today, for the 13th, being at 2,783.97. When we analyze these numbers even further, we could see for the small scale orders, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what was going down on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. But when we take a look at the large, which potentially could represent institutions, we had a lot of buying. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was right around 5.26%. So this is staying fairly consistent for OCGN. So we have many who are selling out of their positions, but we also know there is demand for OCGN shares. And with the volatility that we've been seeing inside of the markets, I must say OCGN didn't do that bad whatsoever, but I will go into more key details that you need to know inside of the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, the key levels you want to look out for, we want to see continued strength, seeing us close above $5.25 or higher. The moment we start breaking these levels and we start testing levels like we tested around 514, and if we have more volatility, then we could potentially get down into the $4 area. So this is just something that you're going to want to keep in mind. But do know there has been demand being shown in the order flow distribution, so you're going to want to keep a close eye on this play. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. So this is why I'm saying if you have a lot of buying pressure coming into the stock, it can make some strong moves to the upside, and we've seen this on many different occasions in the past. We also need to take into consideration this play is catalyst driven. So when we get certain kind of news and so forth, this is where the stock can really start moving. If we don't get any news and so on, the selling pressure can easily continue, and that's just something that you want to be aware about. So this is why you have to do your homework and do your due diligence if you're going to invest or you're going to be trading inside of this play. And also, in regard to the new variant, we're seeing a lot of stuff all over on the news and so on. Yes, we need to see covaxin out there. It has shown to be effective, especially against multiple variants. But you guys know there are a lot of agendas in place that is delaying this entire process. We want the FDA to say, hey, what are those updates? What are those details that you need? Let's get this thing going. But I do feel as far as for Pfizer and as well as Moderna, they're able to get things done very quickly, a lot faster than OCGN. But no surprises there. We've talked about this in the past, and now we just have to sit, wait, see where this goes, but continue to keep an eye on this play. And like I say in my OCGN videos, I will let you guys know when I start to consider going in with a heavy position. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.